Welcome, welcome. I do enjoy a good gaming pickups video, and I dare say if you've clicked on this, so do you. Yet in the 2.5 years, or maybe slightly more, I've been making videos on this channel, I've never really done pickups. So I thought, hey, why not join in the fun? I'll probably only make one pickups video a month, just show you what I've gathered over the last 4 weeks or so. And we'll see what you think, see if you enjoy them. Hey, at best, I could help you find your next gaming bargain. At worst, you can point and laugh at the slightly chubby guy for wasting his money on crap. Either way, for you, it's win-win. I've got a nice little mixture of modern and retro, and we're going to kick off with a bit of Nintendo goodness. With Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Wrath of the Mutants. This goes for about 16 quid on eBay and in CEX. I got it off a website called The Game Collection for £9.95 or £9.99 with free postage. I'd never used the website before, it's the only time I ever have, but I've had a good experience. This is perfect, it was brand new and sealed. Cartridge is all in here and it works, I have tested it. So I was really quite chuffed with that because I want to collect all the Turtles games that I can for the systems that I play. Although some of the PS2 ones are quite pricey now, so I might not end up with all of them anytime soon. You know what you're getting with a Turtles game. It's a good fun beat 'em up. This follows the art style of the recent animated cartoons. They're not normally the longest games in the world, but there's replayability by using different characters, and they're just good fun. On the Turtles note, by the way, I got another one. I also got Mutants Unleashed. This is my most expensive pickup for today's video. It was £28 in CEX. However, I did have a voucher, so I put it towards it. Everything I've said about the previous game probably goes for this one as well. Just a good, fun beat 'em up. Nice to play on your own. Good fun for a bit of couch co-op gaming as well. I just like the Turtles. They're pure nostalgia to me. The early 90s stroke late 80s cartoon was one of my favourites growing up. And truth be told, I'd still watch it now if it was on telly. I'm very happy to have these. I've also already got the Cowabunga collection, and I did have Shredder's Revenge, but I've just pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition, which releases at the end of May. I pre-ordered it for 30 quid off Amazon with free postage, because it's got all the DLC and stuff. So I traded in my standard edition of Shredder's Revenge towards Mutants Unleashed. If you are looking at doing the same as me, I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen, but you might find the standard edition drops in price and therefore voucher value, and I just wanted to go ahead and get it done. So, temporarily, I'm one Turtles game missing from the Switch collection, but I'll have Shredder's Revenge fairly soon. Now, does anybody out there know if they're going to make a physical copy of Splintered Fate? Because as far as I can tell, that's digital only at the minute, and I'm holding off buying it because if it ever does come physical, that's what I'm going to want. If you know, let me know in the comments. Anyway, moving on from the modern to a nice bit of retro. Sticking with Nintendo, I bought some Game Boy Advance games. I do enjoy that console. It's one of my favourite handhelds, probably second favourite after the PSP. And I've got here Mission Impossible Operation Zuma, or Surma, however you're supposed to pronounce it. Either way, it's an action game, as you can see from the footage now, and it just looks good fun. I like licensed games. I enjoy finding the good ones out there, because there are some really good ones, especially of this sort of generation, and I'm looking forward to giving it a go. It was 5 quid off eBay, free postage, so not going to break the bank. I thought it was a nice little addition to my GBA box. Speaking of, I've got another Game Boy Advance game, and it's another licensed one, The Mummy. This one's based on the short-lived cartoon. You can interchange which character you use between Rick, Edie and the son, whose name I don't remember, and they have slightly different skills which will come in handy for slightly different situations. I have played this a little bit, and it actually plays really quite well. It's just a good fun franchise. It's Indiana Jones-esque. I'm a massive Indiana Jones fan, so of course I like the Mummy franchise. This was 4.5 quid off eBay, and I couldn't resist it. As you've seen, I do only collect cartridge only for the Game Boy Advance. I also do the same for the Game Boy Color and the DS systems. Partly because it saves space, mainly to save money. Not going to lie to you, it's just the way that I can collect for them as efficiently as possible, money-wise. Speaking of the DS systems, I don't collect many original DS games anymore because I've got a lot of the ones I want, and the ones that I don't have are quite expensive. So it's quite a rarity for me to have one. But I've got here Age of Empires. I picked this up because I've been playing Age of Empires 2 on the PlayStation 2 and having an absolute blast playing it. But when I looked for another console Age of Empires game, because I'm not a PC gamer, because I'm scared of computers because I can't work them, the only other non-PC only games out there were 2 on the DS. This is Age of Empires The Age of Kings. I picked this one up just because it was the cheapest of the two, £5 and change, free postage. I don't have very high hopes for it, but I wanted to give it a go just because I've enjoyed Age of Empires 2 on the PS2 so much. I want more Age of Empires in my life. And I think that brings me nicely onto a 3DS game. Another system I don't collect a huge amount for. I've got a lot of the games which are affordable for it. Again, cartridge only. I've wanted this one for a while. It's Kid Icarus Uprising. There was only, to my knowledge, one previous Kid Icarus game on the original NES. And it's an RPG. It's a bit of a swords, magic, fantasy style thing. As you can tell from what you're looking at now, I think a lot of it is in flight. It looks like you're shooting, but I'm assuming it's magic. I haven't given it a go yet. But it looks like a good, fun RPG. I don't have many RPGs for the 3DS. I've got the Zelda games, I've got a couple of the Monster Hunter ones, and that's about it. I've been waiting to get this at a price that I felt was reasonable, because usually cartridge only goes for over £20, and if you want it boxed, you're looking closer to £30. I finally got this for £12.50. It came up as a best offer on eBay. I made an offer, we came to an agreement. £12.50 with free postage I felt was a fair price, and I'm really pleased to have it in my collection. Just need to get around to giving it a go now. And now we move on from Nintendo to good old PlayStation. I've got some games here which are surprisingly very cheap, so if you're looking to bulk out your collection or just get what I at least hope are some really good games that are budget friendly, you might want to consider some of them. This is a game I genuinely thought I had until I checked my app in CEX, and that is Deus Ex Mankind Divided. I know I've got the PS3 one. I thought I had it and I didn't. I think we all know what Deus Ex is now. It's a really good fun game. You can play it stealthy, play it shooter, cyberpunk feel. You don't need me to tell you all about it. £3 in CEX. Absolute bargain for what's a really good game there. And on the same visit, and I've left the sticker on this one because it's proving difficult to get off, I picked up Tiny Tina's Wonderlands for £6. This was literally a game I judged by the cover. I looked at the front, I looked at the back, and I thought, this looks fun, and I picked it up because it was cheap. I don't know if it's connected to Borderlands at all with the whole Tiny Tina thing. I don't know much about it at all, quite frankly, other than the fact it looks like it's got some platforming elements and some combat elements, and I really like the look of the art style. But I thought sometimes it's nice to buy something blind, as long as it's not too expensive, and just find out for yourself by putting it in the machine. Don't always need to know everything about something before you buy it, and I'm quite looking forward to just discovering this one for myself. See what it's like. Worst comes to the worst, it was £6. I'll trade it back in for £3 or £4. Another glaring omission from my PS4 collection, Dishonored 2. Now, if you've heard anything about Dishonored, you've probably only ever heard really good things. They seem to be really popular. I've never played one of the games. There's this one and the first one. But from what I can gather, it's very much, you can go in stealthy or you can go in all guns blazing. There's magic elements, guns, bit of sword fighting, and you can choose how you approach each mission. I don't think it's so much open world as open zone, but it's a game that's so highly praised. This was also £3, so the same price as Deus Ex. I couldn't resist it. I feel actually like I've let myself down a little bit by not giving it a go, because such well-regarded games, why wouldn't I? I just haven't got round to it, I suppose. So while I was there, for £1 more than Dishonored 2, I also picked up the first Dishonored as well. But if there's only 2 games, I like to complete franchises where I can. So I thought, why not? And I probably will play them in order with the PS3 one first. This is the Game of the Year edition. I don't know if that makes it any better than the standard one or not. It's just the only copy they had in the shop. So there we go. 2 highly praised games which I was missing. I'm missing no longer. A bit more PS3 goodness for you here. Quite a common title, but one I was missing. Killzone 3. I've already got 2. I've already got the one that came out on the PS4. I think it was almost a launch game or very close to the PS4's launch. I just need the PS2 version now, and I've completed that franchise. And they're good fun little shooters, the Killzone ones, or at least the 2nd and the 4th one I've played were. And for £3.50, can't go wrong. Not a lot to say about this one. It's Grid Race Driver. There's quite a few Grid racing games out on the 7th gen of consoles. I've already got Grid 2, so I just wanted to add this one to it. Nice and cheap, £1.50. As I've already said, I like to complete franchises. I actually prefer to get my racing games on the Xbox 360 or the PS3 than I do on the later consoles. Just because I like to pick a racing game up, play it for maybe 15-20 minutes, half an hour at the most, and then move on to something else. So having to install and uninstall and worry about memories and stuff like that is a pain in the proverbial to me. Whereas this is still of the last generation where you can just put a disc in and play. And also, racing games graphically tend to be some of the most impressive on most systems, so they don't feel dated. And then the last game I've bought for the PlayStation 3, this cost me £5, so I think it was the most expensive one, and it's Apache Air Assault. Now, I'm a huge fan of combat air fighter games. Ace Combat is one of my favourite game series out there. It's got that right balance between a little bit of realism and a lot of arcadey action. I prefer the action arcadey side of it more to simulation, if I'm honest. I like lots to be going on quickly. And I've never seen a helicopter game that seems to be the same type of game, just with a helicopter instead of a fighter jet. So I couldn't resist picking this up really. I mean, just looking on the back, it looks graphically quite impressive, and I'm just hoping it's as much fun as Ace Combat, just with helicopters, because that's what I want. I'll let you know once I've given it a go. And finally, I've got 2 PlayStation 2 games. I've got The Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. As you can see, it's in a not to be sold separately box, which I think makes it just that little bit extra cool, might make it that little bit different, stand out from others. It was only £3. I'm only missing The Warrior Within, and I've got all the Prince of Persia games then, so that's another franchise I've completed. And little side note, the latest Prince of Persia one, which they made into sort of a Metroidvania, absolutely fantastic. I'm going to make a video about that one soon, because it was just so good. But of course, these aren't like that. These are your third-person action games. And I think the most famous thing about these old Prince of Persia games is the parkour elements to getting around inspired the parkour in Assassin's Creed. You probably knew that, but thought I'd mention it in case you didn't. And this one I saw on another YouTuber's channel. He's called Command and Console. No affiliation or anything, but I like to give credit where it's due. It was £3.10 off eBay with free postage, and it's called Mace Griffin Bounty Hunter. And as you can see from the front at the bottom, this was touted as PlayStation's Halo. Now, at the time when this came out, everything was a Halo killer, because Halo set the bar and every other game wanted to be equal to it. I doubt it is as good as Halo, because not many first-person shooters of this generation are, because it was just so good. It was absolutely superb. But it does look good fun. I love PlayStation 2 games. I like first-person shooters. I saw some of the gameplay on Command and Console's video, where I found out that this game existed, and it looked good fun to me. So for the sake of £3.10 off of eBay, I wanted to give it a go. It's even cheaper if you get it in CEX. They just didn't have it in the shop when I went in there. I think it's about £1.52 in there. As you can see, I don't buy that many expensive games. You're very rarely going to see me make a video because I've bought something super rare that cost me £500. Because I don't have £500. But I do pick up a few games each month. It's my treat to myself. I do a CEX visit and I get a couple off eBay, depending how well the CEX visit goes. And I add to my collection and buy things that I genuinely want to play. So I hope you take away from this that you can get some fantastic games for all sorts of systems. You don't have to pay a fortune. Let me know if you like the look of any of those games. Let me know if you think they all look like crap and I've wasted my money. I just like hearing from you guys. I'll do another one of these in 4 or 5 weeks and show you what I've picked up over the course of this next month. And hopefully my next video will be out in a couple of days on Saturday, fingers crossed. Either way, I will see you soon. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to subscribe, don't fight the urge, just press the button now. Go on. I'll see you soon. Ta-da.